And welcome back to the farmstead for more minor league esports action presented by 8 p.m. Music. We've got some more high-octane action lined up for you, but first a quick recap of our night so far. The Flames beating out the Elite in our Academy League matchup to kick us off, and then the Hawks reverse sweeping the Express. What a showing that was. But as we move on here, we're moving up to the Premier League, the cream of the crop, the top of the top. We've got the Tyrants versus the Pandas. My name is Lars Nude. I'm going to be your color caster for the evening, and joining me here in the booth is the man himself, Broba. Broba, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing incredibly well. I cannot wait to see this Premier League action. From what I am to understand, these are the cream of the crop as far as players go in MLE. So this is going to be exciting matches, back-to-back Premier Leagues tonight.
Back-to-back Premier League is right. I'm not sure if we've ever done that here before on minor league esports, but that is an exciting night lined up for you guys, so make sure you're sticking around for all of it. But as we get kicked off here on our first game, we've got the Tyrants versus the Pandas. The Tyrants currently up in a playoff spot. They're number 2 in their division, but they are, I believe, number 4 in their conference, which has them guaranteed into the playoffs if they manage to maintain that. The Pandas, on the other hand, sitting at a 9-21 record. They're down at the bottom of the conference. So really at this point, as we're getting kind of late in the season, they're looking to play a spoiler for the Tyrants, looking to take away that playoff opportunity that they have. Broba, Premier League, like we said over and over and over, it's the best of the best. It is our high GC players. What is the thing you're most excited for out of this matchup?
I mean, I've seen an incredible amount of high-level skilled players, and so I just want to look for those big, crazy plays. I love seeing the passing plays when a team can get together and throw some crazy stuff around to shake up the defense and just play around everybody. That's the best part, is watching those passing plays come out. So I'm going to be looking for that with everybody, being as high level as they are. And, physical play is something else to look for, especially in twos. So I want to see all of that kind of come together and see how each team is going to use those mechanics as we go into this match.
Absolutely. And like you said, the mechanics, the physical play, and the passing play. That's my absolute favorite. But here we are getting kicked off in game number 1. Pandas, Tyrants, let's get it on.
Already starting off strong as the Pandas are getting pushed back against their end, but it was just off the kickoff. They're trying to kind of take it a little bit slow here at the beginning. Haven't seen anything too crazy. Like, it went to the Panda side, but Tyrants kind of backed off a little bit there. They weren't pushing quite as much. There's a shot going to come out from Els, but it's going to get blocked away by Bloop. Big clear coming out from Haim. I believe that's how you say his name, Haim, who is down in the offensive end, but now he's going to scramble back on the defense here. Fuse has an opportunity. He's going to break it through, but the save's going to come out from Bloop. Els is still there as he pops it back. Still not able to get it in. First 40 seconds. Tyrants putting it on as Els has a chance off the backboard. Reverse bicycle kick in. That's one.
That is one of my favorite ways to score in any kind of Rocket League ever, and it's those plays off the backboard, typically to a teammate, but here, the self-pass from Els up against the backboard, and it's so great when you can pepper the backboard like that, hit it again and again and again, you force a response out of the defenders. They have to come out and meet it, and you draw them out of the net. In twos, they don't have a lot of time to rotate back, and if you could follow it up quickly, just like Els did with that nice little reverse touch into the net, you're going to score some goals.
Demo coming out to kind of break up that pressure there. Another one as Els is going to try for a shot here. Fuse is waiting, but I don't know if he's got the angle. He leaves it for Els, actually, who gets the double tap off the backboard, and that's going to be 2 for Tyrant.
What a beautiful show of car control. Throwing that one up to the backboard, getting over, killing momentum, getting back and upside down. The touch into that upper 90. Great showing from Els so far in this game. Pandas have to find something to break down this Tyrant's momentum.
All right, it's Fuzz. I'm sorry, my brain went to Fuse. I see you Twitch chat. I'm sorry. I'll say Fuzz. My mistake. It does happen though. You're just going, and Fuse just sounds better. Haim though might have an opportunity. He's gonna flick over Els. Fuzz is coming up, gets the big clear. Bloop on the defensive half. We'll put it over to Haim again. He's gonna try and get just a short touch to that backboard while Fuzz is there and wins the 50. He's only got Haim left, but Haim gonna throw that 50 over into the Tyrant corner. Els can't quite get it past to midfield. Now Bloop has an opportunity. He's got Haim lurking just outside on the midfield line, but Fuzz now has it. I think Haim's going to be in a rough spot here. He's trying to get the shadow here into the corner, and he does manage to pop it out. Very dangerous, as now that shot's going to come out, and Els puts another one in.
That's a great heads-up play out of Fuzz to get that net opened up and get just up in the face of Bloop, prevent them from coming back and making that save after they get that pass to center. I'm really excited to see how the Tyrants are managing their spacing, managing their team coordination, and not double committing on that ball, making sure they've got the right player going at the right time.
AIM now trying to challenge this. We'll get that demo for the Pandas as they're moving down into the offensive half. Bloop does get the pinch there up to Haim, who does have an aerial. He's a little bit off on the aerial, though, not able to quite connect with that, but somehow managing to play like the defense isn't there. That's what you love to see on the offensive half.
Hey, managing to get the Tyrants a little scrambled. I think they thought that that was a burned opportunity that wasn't going to happen. And Hey with an awkward touch backwards, but it's more than enough to get that ball back in the net. They close that gap down to 2 from 3. And it's the Pandas finally starting to show some life here as the clock continues to tick away.
Still plenty of time left, though, as Fuzz trying to bait one out. He does, and gets the hit onto Haim, who's going to push him into the net, but will manage to get that clear. L's not able to pick up that 4th goal just yet, taking out Fuzz as they move downfield. It's going to get cleared, but I think Haim might be able to pick it up here. L's is going to go for that challenge, and it will be won by the green team all the way back down into the Tyrants' corner. The pass coming out to Bloop. He does get hit by Fuzz as he comes up for that 50. Again, the big demo coming out might break up some of the pressure here. Aim trying to get it centered out, but L's patient on that back wall is going to be there for the stop. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. Tyrants still in the lead, 3-1.
Looking at the stat line here, I've got a little bit of a troubling thing to see from the Pandas. They have 3 shots to the Tyrants' 9. They've got a lot of saves, 5 saves, but a lot of saves always says to me, you're doing a great job defensively to pick up those saves, but here, oh my goodness, speaking of great defense, Fuzz making that save. But it also means you're not getting the ball clear of your end. It means you're getting a lot of pressure towards your net, and that's always a recipe for disaster. As that is a great passing play that opens up the net, but L's not able to finish it off.
So close there off that backboard. He throws it nice and hard to bait that defense to try and go for it, but unfortunately not able to connect with his teammate just yet. 90 seconds about left to go as Bloop going to go for this clear over to Haim. Jumps up at midfield to get it off the sidewall there, but L's will read that very, very well and manage to pick up the clear around Bloop, and now Pandas scrambling back to defense. L's trying to get that out to Fuzz, who does manage to get the touch, but no angle on the net just yet. He's kind of looping around here at midfield, sees the opportunity possibly to sneak it through, and I think that might have been a Pandas' own goal.
It absolutely was. Unfortunately, a little bit of lack of coordination between the Pandas as Bloop turns back, does get the save, but Haim also diving in for the save, doesn't recognize what's happening on the backside of that. Someone needs to call that to make sure this exact thing doesn't happen. It ends up touching off of Bloop into Haim game and back into the Pandas net.
Right now, Pandas struggling to get movement downfield. They've had a few shots, but like you said, with the saves that they've gathered up, it really just shows that they've been pushed against their back wall so much. Bloop, you see him trying to force it through both those defensive players as the minute warning comes out. Now still not able to connect the back of the net. It's going to get cleared across by Fuzz and L's working together here. L's looking probably for a power shot there, but he kept it low, and Haim's going to pick it up at center field. Fuzz trying to slow play, just waste some time here. They got, it's a 3-goal lead right now, 4-1 with 30 seconds left. It's going to be hard pressed for Pandas to do something here with the time being what it is. They may have to look to the next game, in a league where every series matters, every game in the series matters. Maybe losing that first one, it does suck, but they've got to kind of look forward and figure out what they can do to stop this Tyrant offense.
Something I've absolutely stolen from fellow caster Gigabyte. You've got 20 or so seconds left here. Use that to get creative. Find something new that might work against this Tyrants team, because obviously game number 1 is a wash. This is in favor of Tyrants as L's over the top with a long carry through the air to pick up their 4th goal of the match.
He just had really good presence on that ball when it came off. Got a perfect launch off the side, which gave him a really good opportunity to get that air dribble downfield and pop it into the net. Like you said, Pandas, time's ticking down. Play around with it. I've said the same thing myself, that, when you have that little bit of time, figure out what you can do and then try to implement that. Even if you're not doing it on the field, kind of talk amongst yourselves. Use that communication to be like, okay, so the Tyrants are, being a little aggressive. What can we do? Maybe get some more challenges at midfield. Maybe, slow play a little bit. Don't get so many big clears. Kind of use the opportunity when you're down like that, to just analyze how the Tyrants play and change it up when you get into the next match, because that's really the only thing that's going to help you against this Tyrants team. They're very aggressive. They have 12 shots to only 6 from the Pandas. Just a very, very aggressive team. You got to try and play around that.
Absolutely, I agree. And speaking of analyzing gameplay, let's throw to the board here real quick and just talk a little bit about Pandas' positioning and Pandas' play style. So the Pandas, as they come down the field here, they tend to spend a lot of time doing what, again, fellow caster Thunderballs likes to call corner ball. They tend to clear up the side and try to roll it through the corner in front of the net. That's going to be really easy for the Tyrants to pick up in front of the net here. They do a very good job of clearing that back through the corner. What I like to see out of the Pandas, something that they are doing well, is they are also bringing a good level of aggression. They don't allow the Tyrants to have too much space. As the Tyrants try to clear through here, Pandas are right here, ready to meet it in the corner. At the midfield, the Tyrants do a really good job. They come up to about midfield, and again, the Pandas are right there, ready to challenge. But then, something that's a little different about how the way the Tyrants attack the net, once they get to midfield, they start working into in front of the net. Either that's going to throw it off the wall and back to center, or just straight from the midfield, whereas the Pandas not doing nearly as much of that. They need to get that ball midfield sooner.
Well, hopefully in game 2, they kind of think about what you've said. If they're listening, if they're not listening, still maybe think about what they can do to change it up here, because the Tyrants, you know, they're a force to be reckoned with, and already off the kickoff are going to score the first goal 3 seconds. That's not really how you want to start game 2.
No, it's an unfortunate leadoff, especially after how that last game went, but I've said it before, and I will say it again and again and again. It's a kickoff goal. It happens. Let it go. You can't let it get to you. They happen at every level. It's quick. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. Don't let it get you down and ruin the mental game.
Pandas trying to be aggressive here. Haim taking to the corner. Els does manage to clear it around him. Will 50 that over to the side where Fuzz is waiting. He's going to grab that corner boost. Unfortunately, Fuzz missing that touch. Going to give the opportunity for the Pandas move into the offensive end of the field. It's going to be thrown across, and Bloop, you see him trying to come up for that as nobody was in the net for the Tyrants. They were challenging that outside the box. Still no opportunity just yet. That was a big clear too, by the way. I thought that might have been on target. I didn't want to say anything because it looked like it was going to be a little bit short, but you know that the Tyrants kind of wanted that one to go, when Panda probably had their heart in their throat that entire time as they were chasing that ball down.
It's so tough to catch that ball in transition. There's so much as Els looking for the double, but not quite there, and Haim able to break it up. But like I said, transition is such a dangerous place on defense. All of the advantage rests with the offense in that transition. Even those big clears, if they can get down the field fast enough, they're going to be so threatening before you can set up a defensive rotation.
Almost a mistake there by Els. Haim, you saw him see Els' clear was going to go straight out towards center field across the net. He just didn't quite have the opportunity. He was a little bit too close, I think, to try and score that one up, but he is keeping it down in the Tyrants, and you see him challenging that corner there. Haim tries to get over Els, but Els will be there for the stop. Bloop doesn't have the angle here. Go for this, leaves it for Haim again. They're just trying to, I don't know, play in the corner here, maybe bait the defenders out as Bloop gets it high, but it's not going to be on target. The waterfall going to go just a little bit away from those Pandas players, so they're still being aggressive, which is what you want to see. Tyrants had that crazy pressure in game 1. You can see the Pandas really forcing them to stay in their zone, to be ready for these shots to come out. Even if they're slower shots, they're just trying to make them waste their boost and kind of keep them on their back foot. It's been a while since we've seen them go back down to the Pandas happen. Right now, that push is happening as it's going to get saved away, but just barely by Blue.
Wow, that was a nail-biter shot for sure, but the Pandas stay alive here. Only have that one goal, but that's an awkward touch up. Bloop more than capable to take that one away. And like you said, we've seen so much pressure out of the Pandas upfield as the Tyrants finally finding a little bit of their own. That's up the crossbar and touch back out. Wow. But something that the Pandas are doing, I know I criticized rolling the ball through the corner earlier, but if you can consistently do it like the Pandas were, it's going to eventually suck that defense out from in front of the net and into the corner. But there is Els with a great shot just straight down the middle, taking advantage of an awkward Pandas touch.
That was a huge clear for Els to get it all the way down. Well, just for Tyrant in general, I don't know if Els actually hit it down that far, but still for Tyrant to get that big clear there and force Pandas into such an awkward spot to try and get that cleared away, with Els having that big follow-up is crucial there, and Haim off the kickoff going to put one away.
Again, kickoff goals, in my mind, don't mean a whole lot, and you need to not let it get to you. But for the Pandas, this one's going to be a big get for them. shutting down some of that Tyrants momentum and narrowing that gap back down to 1 goal is so huge for them right now. They need to pick up some momentum of their own.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Not letting them get too far ahead before you score that first goal can be a really big morale booster. And Rocket League, and just like a lot of esports, a lot of the play is mental as much as physical. Being on the field, being wherever you are in whatever game you're playing is crucial. But that mentality of, you know, oh man, we scored. We're so close now. We can maybe tie it up here. We've got plenty of time. There's 2 minutes left. Let's see if the Pandas can do it. And, you know, that's really going to look good for them as we go forward. Els looking for this big clear around Bloop. Does pop it high, but Haim is there. Fuzz a little bit too far forward. I think Bloop has the shot, and that's the tie game for the Pandas.
Can we talk about this pass play for a second here? Wow, up into the ceiling. Haim plays it down, recognizes exactly where Bloop is going to be, and Bloop just barely beats out that Tyrants defender to get that touch towards the net. That is a beautiful play, and it's exactly what you want to see out of this Pandas team. They got the kickoff goal to shut down Tyrants' momentum, and now they got a beautiful, gorgeous passing play to get a little bit of their own. If the Pandas win the game, I think that right there is kind of the watershed moment.
Fuzz trying to take this from the ceiling. He's got Els lurking between the midfield and that corner where he was challenging from. Haim, though, does have a big clear. I don't think Fuzz has the speed, and Pandas are going to go in the lead.
Pandas taking control with 3 in a row, unanswered goals. Just over 90 seconds to go. We know this Tyrants team is dangerous. They are very capable of scoring goals, but so far in this last minute or so, this looks like the Pandas show.
Yeah, Pandas doing incredibly well to come back from behind. Is that going to be 4? And it is. Pandas, oh my goodness.
Again, I know I was down on the kickoff goals, but here for the Pandas, that is what's given them a 2-goal lead, and that is so huge. When you get into this last 90 seconds to a minute range, you want to have a multiple goal lead. I'd really like to see 3 or 4, but it just gives you so much extra breathing room. And on top of that, it's going to force the other team to be overly aggressive as they start to need goals. And when they're that aggressive, it opens the door for lots of mistakes and lots of big downfield plays.
Els going back for Boost, going to leave Fuzz from midfield to get this shot attempt from downtown. Haim does get the save, but it's not enough. I think Bloop actually got bullied into that by Fuzz, and that's going to be another goal for the Tyrants.
You mentioned before game number 1, you were excited for passing plays, mechanical plays, and physical plays, and man, have we seen all 3 of those here in game number 2 with that big play from Fuzz, mostly to open up the net, and then obviously Els, more than accurate enough to take advantage of it. High-quality player. You give them that open net, they're going to score.
That was a scary opportunity there off that last kickoff. Bloop went for Boost, and Fuzz had the cheat there on the kickoff. Put himself almost in an opportunity to put a tying goal on the board. Now Haim scrambling back to defense will throw that wide, just barely getting back to that one. It was pretty quick on the drop, and he had to, you know, just get there in time to clear it because there was nobody else back. 36 seconds. The Tyrants looking to tie it up here before the end. Els going to get beat out by the defense. Bloop patient to get that one cleared away. Tries to get the bump on Fuzz as well. And unfortunately, going for that put him in an awkward spot, and that's another goal for the Tyrants.
Wow, Fuzz, that is great patience. Baiting out that defender, getting a nice easy touch just to chip it up, set it back up. Starting to come forward, seeing the physical coming, hit the brakes real quick, backed up, reset, and touched that one home. Well earned from Fuzz.
24 seconds left now. The Tyrants managing to battle back as a missed opportunity on defense. It's going to put them in the lead with 19 left.
Wow, this is heartbreaking for the Pandas. They need to find some of that kickoff goal magic here to get another one to tie this up. I think if it devolves into not a kickoff goal, it starts to develop into regular play, that's going to be to the Tyrants' advantage.
Yeah, especially in twos, you got to be careful on that kickoff. If you're putting yourself in an awkward position or, you know, taking the longer round to grab some boost, which I know a lot of people do in threes. Oh, no, Tyrants put another one in.
That is likely going to be the nail in the coffin as Haim Game doesn't get a great touch on this. It's so important at every level, but especially so here at the Premier League. You can't, it's not enough to stop the ball from going in the net. You have to get it clear, either into your corner or deep downfield.
That is just unfortunate. See, the Pandas fought so hard to get that lead, and the Tyrants just constantly putting that pressure on being their aggressive selves, managed to push through the Pandas defense and come back from that one. Pandas playing really well there for so long. It's just heartbreaking to see that. And I mean, even looking at the stats, they're really not that far off from each other.
Yeah, we've got 11 shots for the Tyrants and 10 shots for the Pandas. A lot of those coming right at the beginning of the game where we saw so much of that Pandas pressure downfield. And it's great to see that. It really opens up the defense because they spend so much time cycling, looking for boost, and just almost panicking in front of their own net. You get them worn down, you get them worn out. They start to make mistakes. They start to get impatient. And it gives you opportunities, but the Pandas just not able to capitalize. They did pick up 4 unanswered goals in a row, but then the Tyrants hit it right back with 4 of their own. And we're just not seeing the level of consistency out of the Pandas that we need to see because really, at the end of the day, mechanics are great, pass plays are great, all of that stuff is really cool and all, and you need it to be effective, but the biggest determination of who is going to win a series is consistency. The Tyrants right now playing a very consistent game, and at sometimes when the Pandas are really on their game and they're hot, it's to the Pandas' advantage because that level of consistent Tyrants isn't at the absolute peak here. But it is consistent, and it's to the Tyrants' advantage where the Pandas are up and down, and when the Pandas fall off, the Tyrants are so quick to strike.
Yeah, those Tyrants, man, they're going to capitalize on every opportunity. I mean, you saw a little bit from the Pandas, too. On those kickoff goals, it was because a Tyrant player, either cheated up or just wasn't in the right spot, predicting that kickoff play. They gave Pandas the kickoff goals to kind of give them the momentum. But the Tyrants, if you give them the space, they're going to play around with it. So game number 3 is going to really be, can the Pandas, again, make those adjustments and capitalize on those Tyrants' mistakes. There's not very many of them, but they do happen. Everybody makes mistakes on the field. You just have to be there to capitalize and just make sure that you're playing as consistently as possible, because any little mistake on your end is going to be, something that the Tyrants are going to capitalize on themselves. And just, game 3, they got this. I believe in the Pandas. Everybody give Pandas some energy in the chat.
Absolutely. The one thing I will say about mistakes and consistency is we'll get back to that fuzz. What a beautiful touch off the wheels to get that one just tucked inside that near post. Take advantage of the Pandas doubled up over there. The one thing I do like about that is the Pandas not double committing, but it's not enough. That's a great shot.
And that's where you were just talking about mistakes. They were just both in that corner, kind of put them in an awkward position trying to get back in front of the net, and that just gave Fuzz that opportunity. But what were you saying there right before that goal?
What I was saying about consistency, and I'm almost glad that I got interrupted, because what I want to say about mistakes, let me be a little more specific. Positioning errors, you absolutely cannot have, especially at this level. You need to be on point with positioning. But mechanical errors, mechanical mistakes, if you're not making mechanical mistakes, you're doing it wrong. If you're not pushing to your absolute fastest, then you won't make mistakes, but then you're not absolutely going as fast as possible, and you need speed to beat out the other team.
Pandas right now pushing Tyrant against their back wall. There was an opportunity there. A player got demoed. I think it was Fuzz who got demoed there. They're so close. The pass came across the net. They just weren't fast enough to pick up the play to put it on that open net. But the Pandas haven't given up yet. They're kind of battling back now against these Tyrant players, trying to get in their face. Blue has an opportunity towards the net, and Fuzz will be there to clear it off. Haim in the corner has Els on the back wall. Can't quite get the challenge he needs, and Els has an opportunity to push it down towards the Pandas. And again, Fuzz is there waiting. Haim gets that challenge early. You don't want to give him time. We've seen what happens when Fuzz has those aerial opportunities, and now they're scrambling back to defense here. Els looking for the shot. Haim is there again, and it will be saved by the Pandas.
The Pandas are falling off a little bit on the aggression. I'd like to see them be a little quicker to the ball. I know that last touch off the backboard worked out. Haim Game was able to get up in front of Fuzz as Fuzz was taking the shot, but it's so dangerous to let Fuzz be in that position. When that ball comes down, you need to meet it at the back wall, touch it away to the corner, and don't even give the option. Don't even give the ball a chance in front of the net.
Tyrant once more moving on the offensive half. Blue has it around the defense, and that's what they need. Tie game for the Pandas.
And once again, we see the Pandas finding about mid-game an option here to shut down some of this Tyrants' momentum. The Tyrants, though, have managed to continue to be in control. They need to get more goals, get a big lead. Like I said in the last game, 3 or 4 goals to really, really extend that lead and be very secure going into about 90 seconds to go.
That was almost one of the, I want to say, patented Panda kickoff goals right there. They had the movement towards the net, because again, that Tyrant player moved onto the side. I didn't quite see who didn't go for the cheat. They kind of went off. It looks like it was probably Fuzz who went off of that boost. Instead, it was so close for Pandas to get that second goal, but you know, it was just a little bit too slow there. But they are in the attack right now. This is what they need. They need to get the Tyrant's face, and you see it right there. They bully LS right there, Els, as they just pass it back and forth. That's 2-1 now.
That's some great aggression out of the Pandas, and something I really like to see is the backboard passes. Rolling it through the corners, not very effective, but if you can come up field and hit the back wall, force a response out of the defense, you could see Fuzz starting to come out towards the corner to try to pick that up, but as it rips quickly off the back wall just shy of the corner, it's going to open up that defense and give you an opportunity on the net.
Pandas now once again finding themselves in the lead. They have 90 seconds to try and keep it, but Tyrant, of course, is not going to allow that to happen. That's 2-2.
I'm questioning a little bit if the Tyrants are watching the stream. First, Fuzz, what a gorgeous touchdown. But again, attack that back wall, then attack the net. This time, not just on the back wall, not just a back wall, you've got Fuzz, and I just can't, the control, the beauty, it's just, what a gorgeous pass to open up that opportunity.
Still 90 seconds left as Haim goes for the shot. Els, how did you get there in time to save that? I thought that was going to be another Pandas goal. So close there. Els just managing to get into that bottom corner as Bloop goes for the carry.
That is some great car control out of Bloop, getting up to that ball, and something a lower level player often makes a mistake. You saw how much space there was after that ball popped up between Bloop and the ball, and typically a player with less control will jump up there and smack that ball, but Bloop did such a great job cleanly receiving that ball up in the air, keeping it close to their car, controlling it down. It really threw the Tyrants off. They double commit on the save, and it ends up going in. That was just beautiful control by Bloop as he moves with the ball downfield to put them in the lead once more. Haim going to get taken out as the 60-second warning comes up on your screen. Els off the backboard to Fuzz, but Haim patient on defense will be there to clear that out of the danger zone. Now Bloop by himself in the back is going to go for the early challenge, actually pulls off and does manage to stop Fuzz a little bit there. Very dangerous. You know, he kind of hesitated on his movement there out of the net. Haim has an open field and he's going to put one in, and that's going to be 4. 34 seconds to go, and we see the Pandas take a 2-goal lead. This is the biggest lead this late in the game that they have had, and it bodes so well going forward. They've done a great job keeping the Tyrants off of their net for the most part, but the Tyrants still showing up with 7 shots in this game. We just need the Pandas to hold on for 30 more seconds, and they can take Game 3, stay alive in the series, and start to set themselves up for a reverse sweep. This is what they want here. Bloop just tries to stop it at center field. They're just wasting some time, possibly going to put another one on as it gets saved away. Haim trying to put that one through the open net. Fuzz just gets back in time. The clock is ticking down right now. 10 seconds left in Game 3. I think it's safe to say that the Pandas finally have one in the bag. They've got one in the bag, but they're going to need more as this one dribbles down over the top, and it falls to give that Pandas 4-2 victory. What I really like, what I've seen out of what we've got so far here, is we've had a lot of mechanical play really out of the Pandas that has really shown up that was kind of atypical for how they were before. I mean, we've got good pressure. We've seen really great pressure upfield. We've seen really good attempts. Excuse me, a little scrambled here. We've seen really good attempts at getting pass plays and getting rotations set up in the offensive end. The one thing I think the Pandas are missing that they could do a little better on, we saw a flash of it, is get physical with that rotation. As you rotate through in front of the net, look to bump or demo one of these Tyrants defenders and open it up a little bit more. The Tyrants, on the other hand, slowing down a little bit. They're not beating the Pandas to every ball like they were before, and they need to get more pressure towards the Pandas net. Yeah, Pandas, man, I'm so excited that the Pandas actually got this one in on stream. It was so hyped to watch Haim get that breakaway for Bloop, to get that crazy aerial goal to put it in. The follow-up is just amazing. Pandas, you know, but green's my favorite color. And so, you know, I kind of want Pandas to win. You know, they're green. They're a beautiful shade of green, too, which is what I love. It's nice, dark, very nice, dark forest-type green.
so it's good. I'm glad that the Pandas won. Plus, Pandas are adorable. I mean, come on, who wouldn't want the Pandas to win? You know, I'm not saying anything against dinosaurs. You know, I think it's a T-Rex is the Tyrants mascot there. But still, I mean, you gotta root for the fluffy thing.
I'm just a sucker for underdogs, and by coincidence, my background happens to be green as well. But here, as we get into game number 4, a beautiful pass in typical Tyrant fashion from the sidewall out to the middle. Fuzz ready for it, and that is goal number 1 for the Tyrants.
That is just beautiful movement down the field. Fuzz, you know, probably said, hey, Els, I'm coming up midfield, man. Just throw that out. The defense isn't there. And that connection as they come up is just what you want to see from players at this level, what you expect to see from passing plays. And that's just a very quick answering goal coming out from Haim. Excuse me, I almost called him Payne.
Broba, we are 18 seconds into game number 4, and we've already got 2 goals, 1 each way as Haim, a nice, clean dribble. We talk about mechanics a lot, and what a lot of people assume when I say mechanics, or when you say mechanics, or any caster says mechanics, is double flip reset to triple touch. What we're really talking about is good, consistent control. Control of the ball on the ground, control of your car in the air, getting recoveries off of bumps, that kind of thing. And Haim, a great showing right there of simple car control in the dribble, as it's enough to open up, but Els doing the same the other way, ground to air dribble to give them back this lead. 31 seconds into this match.
So many goals have been scored as you put out 31 seconds in. We already have 3 goals. This just shows you the skill of these guys when they can take advantage of little mistakes or just get around the other players to get that movement downfield. It's just phenomenal to watch. Tyrants managing to put one in here. Will we have a 4th goal? And we will. Pandas put one in.
That is a beautiful play from Bloop to get pressure upfield as Els backs off that unexpected from Bloop, recovering how they were, just like we were talking about with those mechanics. Get that recovery, continue your momentum towards the sidewall, scoop that up before Els can get there and send it right back. Haim Game did a great job reading what was happening and pressuring upfield to get the goal.
Oh man, so much has happened. We're not even out of the first minute of gameplay here. This is just insanity. Panda, you can see that they've come alive now off of that win for the series. Are just putting the screws to Tyrant as much as they can, not even caring that Tyrant was in the lead just a minute ago, that Tyrant scored that first goal. It didn't matter to them. The Pandas are not going to go down without a fight, and that demo might be crucial here. Bloop doesn't have the angle. He will throw it in the corner here. Els looking for the big clear. He's got Fuzz up, and he's actually going to rotate around. He was at midfield there looking for the pass to come out, but ooh, that was almost a missed touch. Bloop is going to miss that. I think Fuzz might have an opportunity, but Haim is going to take him out, and he takes out Els to break up that offensive pressure.
What a defensive play out of Haim Game, running out of boost at the absolute last second, but it's enough to get the double demo. And now as the Pandas scramble to get this ball clear of their end, something I really like out of the Pandas so far is they feel a lot more comfortable. They're flying so fast at the ball. They're getting very aggressive. They're getting confident in the way they move their car through the air and on the ground. And it just feels good for them. Like you said, didn't even care that the Tyrants were in the lead there for a little bit. It's just been Pandas as fast as they can, as aggressive as they can, and it's working out for the most part. They just got to find a little bit more magic to get the advantage over the Tyrants.
2 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. 4 goals being scored between the two teams, and the Pandas are just playing out of their mind right now. From what I understand from reading the chat's correct. Haim was a pick from today. He just joined the Pandas today, and he's playing just incredibly well with Bloop. This is just great to see if that's the case, if that's actually true, that he was a pickup here right before the streams tonight. That is just great to see how well he plays on the field, how well he's meshing with his teammate here, as once again a shot gonna go a little bit too short, and now Els has a big clear. I think Haim might not get back in time, and that's Tyrants with 3.
Chemistry so important, like you said, but right there, break it down a little bit as they get caught upfield, both players, and Els takes their time, scoops this up, understands exactly how much time they have to put that away, slows down, doesn't panic. You love to see it, just cleanly catches and drives it home.
Yeah, looking at our stats here, Haim actually isn't even listed under the Pandas, so he must have actually been a very late pickup today to come into play this. That is incredible to see. Bloop himself has has been doing very well. He's a very high salary player coming into this match. He's had a decent spread of stats. Actually, he's one of the top with saves, especially on his team. So that's really great to watch these guys come out and play. Tyrant, though, in the lead right now, and they're going to score another one here. The Pandas just get flicked, unfortunately, and Buzz going to put one away.
That is a gorgeous flick. It's clean, it's quick, and it's more than enough to get it over Bloop. When you have flicks like that in transition, you are so dangerous, as Fuzz shows. And that is, like I said, it's quick, it's clean, and it's dangerous. Those transition plays always catch defenses off guard.
Oh, Pandas, though, getting big early answer there. I can't even talk. It was so fast. I wasn't ready.
That was an interesting little team bump to put that one home. I think no one expecting that, Fuzz included, wasn't ready for the pool shot to get that one home. And the Pandas managed to close the gap down to 1 goal. With a minute 42, we've seen the Pandas score in short order. We could talk about in the first 41 seconds, putting up 2 in addition to the Tyrants 2. We have more than enough potential to bring this one back, but the Pandas need to score. They need to win here, or this series goes to the Tyrants.
Ooh, Fuzz trying to put one away here. Bloop gonna be just there on the goal line to stop it out. L's gonna take advantage of Bloop. Not getting quite as much power as he went on the clear, and Haim gonna lose that in the corner to L's as well. He does manage to get the touch, and Bloop, I think, is gonna grab that corner boost and see if he can go across as Haim going for that challenge at midfield. L's, ooh, Buzz almost taking out Haim there from his own back ball. Now he's going to be there to save. That was very close. If Buzz had taken Haim out of the equation there, if Haim hadn't hit the brakes, that would have been an open net for the Tyrants to score again. Just 45 seconds left. No, Tyrants.
Tyrants. That's a good play out of Els, though. That's so well controlled. That catch on the wall to play it down where they can continue to control. Something you see again in lower levels is a lot of times hit ball hard, and they just smack the ball away whenever you get the opportunity. But that was so well set up, and it's so crucial at this level to keep the ball close and under control. And Els does such a beautiful job of setting up that nice little pinch off the crossbar to get the goal here. I want to mention real quick, you mentioned Haim getting a couple of big saves there. Something I've noticed out of Haim is they're very patient in the defensive end, and it usually works out pretty well for them.
I mean, you know, if you have a solid defensive player, that's really, really good. Haim, you know, being patient is probably one of his really big strengths, because on defense, you don't want somebody to panic there, just like Bloop. Very patient in the backfield as he sees both those players coming at him in the air. Does manage to get that stop out. Bloop looking to pass it out to Haim, but I don't think they have enough time now to come back. They're down by 2 with 5 seconds left to go. Tyrants managing to put another one over on the Pandas, looking for a last-second goal there, but I don't think Bloop has it, and it's going to hit down. The Tyrants are going to take game 4.
That is a pretty dominant showing out of the Tyrants. The Tyrants tyrannical through that game and end up taking game number 4 and the series. But remember, this is minor league esports. We play sets more so than series. Every game counts when it comes to playoffs. And like we said coming into this, the Pandas not really in a great playoff position, but the Tyrants are on the edge. They're on the bubble for playoffs, and the Pandas still have a chance to play spoiler here. The Tyrants really need a big win, a good 4-1 series to really help keep themselves in that playoff run. The Pandas have an opportunity here to take one more off the Tyrants, make this a 3-2. And I think they're capable of it. Obviously, the Tyrants showing up here a little bit faster, a little bit more mechanical, and a little bit just better, I hate to say, than the Pandas. But we've seen the Pandas take a victory off them. We've seen the Pandas show flashes of absolute greatness. If they can find a little bit of that Game 3 magic, then I think they can spoil here for the Tyrants.
Yeah, and I mean, the Pandas have proved that they can take games off of the Tyrants. They won Game 3. They just need to win another one here, maybe, and that'll, you know, at least give them a little bit more morale coming into, you know, any other games that they're going to have for the rest of the season. But the Tyrants, they're just crazy. Like, someone in the chat had said something about if you give the Tyrants space, they're very scary, and you've seen that. When they have space, they do incredibly amazing things out on that field. So Pandas have just got to be in their face for this last game. They got to go for those challenges early and stop them out at midfield to get that pressure they need, as this shot almost comes out already from Bloop, trying to force it through the defense there, but nothing doing just yet here. Tyrants, Buzz actually trying to get this out to LS, who is waiting. Bloop has a little bit of a mistouch, and actually Haim gets the save. So much pressure right now again from the Tyrants. They love to do that. They love to push their enemies against the back wall to try and just continuously throw shots at the net and see what sticks.
You are absolutely right, though. The Pandas need to get aggressive with the Tyrants. Where do those pass plays develop? Where do those mechanical plays, those flicks come from? It's space to make plays on the ball. If you are the Pandas, don't allow them to have space. You have to interrupt early before things can get set up. Even these Premier League players take some amount of time to set stuff up. But Haim, with a nice touch, the Tyrants caught up field. That is the first goal to the Pandas.
And that's what you want to see, taking advantage of them being in your half. Haim knows that Fuzz has already gone behind him, sees that Els, gets that hits over to midfield, and he's got that big open field to just throw it in. Pandas taking that first goal. Not quite as high scoring as it was in the first minute of game number 4, but still, Pandas need to kind of take their time and make sure that they're not making mistakes here, as Fuzz has a big open field as well and ties it up.
Speaking of taking your time and making sure you're not making mistakes, Bloop goes up for that, and I don't disagree with the decision at all. They saw open net, ball in the air, opportunity to score, but you just have to be sure that you're actually on net, and unfortunately they're not. Catches both Pandas upfield, and we know the Tyrants can beat 2 defenders with space. With space and no defenders, that's a done deal.
Yeah, for sure. Just a missed shot there, just a little bit too short. And I agree with you. Bloop should have gone for that shot. It was just not as wide, or not as in the net as he hoped. It was too wide. But still, it's only 1-1. It's basically like they just whitewashed the last goal here, and there's still plenty of time. They got to be careful, though, as the passing play to Fuzz with Els is going to be putting 2 on the board now for the Tyrants.
How many times have we seen almost this exact play? Els or Fuzz coming up a little bit offset from center, not quite to the sidewall, but making their push out towards the edge to try to draw those defenders away from the net to the side of the field, and then a quick pass across the field towards center, or maybe just off, to a waiting Tyrants player ready to make the catch and get the goal. But there is Blue tying it right back up.
That's what you want to see off the kickoff. Fuzz does get the cheat there, but he ends up putting it off the sidewall, and I don't think he has like any boost or anything, so he's basically got to rely on his car's momentum, and spinning around like that to try and stop a shot when they have the entire net to go for is very, very difficult to do, especially when there's only 2 players and you're the only one in a position for that. Pandas taking advantage of that, tying it up once again with 3 minutes, 15 seconds left. Fuzz trying to get the flick out, but Els is not close enough to try and take that shot. Now both Panda players are in front of the net. Going to be a miss for Bloop, but Haim does win that 50 into the corner. Fuzz, though, has picked it up. He's got Els coming up center field. The pass, he's going to be a little bit too short of that. Fuzz actually hit it, I think, a little bit too much. Didn't really give Els the positioning he needed to go for that shot. Haim cutting off Els there, and he will get demoed by Bloop in the offensive half. Now Bloop trying to chase down Fuzz here to take possession away. He's going to get the pinch out maybe to Haim, but no, Fuzz clears it away. Pandas, though, still have a tie game.
Good, smart play from Haim there, recognizing what's happening. That was a shooting opportunity, but with Fuzz lurking just behind it, that's a slow play off the post, and that's going to go in for Blue. What a fake to bait out the Tyrants and get themselves the lead here at halftime.
What a fake here. Bloop goes up and just slows himself down, baiting that defender to dare him to challenge, and then using that little bit of opportunity there to just pop it through. The defense really didn't have it clear. They were kind of just trying to make sure it didn't go in, and they were just in such an awkward spot. But it looks like a quick answer is going to come out, and once again, we have a tie game. Oh my goodness, so much back and forth.
I don't want to focus too much on this goal. I want to go back to that Pandas goal and really just say, remember, this is a Minor League Esports official broadcast, so if you like what you see, you can clip it and submit it for Play of the Week, either on Twitter at MLE Sports GG, hashtag BOTW, or in the appropriate Discord in the server, as here we transition back, and wow, that's a quick turn for the Tyrants to take the lead back.
Yeah, again, Tyrants off this kickoff, only a few seconds afterwards. Haim actually gets tied up on Fuzz, and you see him scrambling back to that net. He tries to jump in front of the shot, but he had way too much momentum, put him just past the ball, and Els going to throw another one in. 4-3 right now. The Tyrants taking this lead here, but the Pandas still on it out of the shit. There's plenty of time for them to tie it up again and maybe look to take the lead back. Bloop going to go for this challenge here into the corner. He does pop it around Els. He's only got Els actually to deal with here, and I don't know how much boost he has. He's going to miss that in the corner, unfortunately for him, and Els continues to keep possession. Looks for the flick over Haim. He does get it. Bloop, though, popping a high fuzz. Might have a chance. He's up, but not quite as fast as Haim, who will get there in time to push away, but out center again. Got to be careful about that. Els will take advantage of that clear to get possession. Ooh, he throws it too far in front of Fuzz, but they're working right now to bait those Pandas players out. Bloop, you know, goes for that clear, but he can't really follow up. He has to go for that big clear because, you know, it was just such a quick turnaround. They really need to keep that ball close here with 90 seconds left and try and get that movement to keep the possession because they're really just throwing it away to the Tyrants right now.
You're absolutely right. The Pandas need two things here, and the first is, like you said, keep the ball close, keep it under control, because when you throw it out there, all you've really done is you've created space for the Tyrants, but that's just so close. Fuzz able to get back to it. The second thing they need to do is keep the ball out from in front of their net. They've done a good job making saves, preventing the Tyrants from scoring in the last 90 seconds, but they keep sending it in front of their net. It's these desperate clears and desperate saves across the front. What they have to do is keep that to the corner, keep it to the sidewall, and don't even give an option for the Tyrants.
Bloop trying to go for this clear, but he will get stopped by Els, who throws it across. Haim, nice and high, will stop Fuzz from picking up that shot opportunity, or even just keeping that possession away from the Tyrant players. Els, though, has the positioning in the back. You saw Bloop try and go for that little hit, maybe thinking he could get the speed, get it around Els, but it's not going to happen, as again, it's in front of the Tyrants' net. That's going to be a shot there, but Bloop had backed off way too far. That could have been the opportunity for the tie game, and now Tyrants are going to put the nail in the coffin. 24 seconds left, and I think that Pandas, I don't think they have a chance now.
Fuzz, that is a beautiful play. Faking out the Pandas and then getting that flick downfield before they can have any chance to recover. You're right. I think that's going to be super dangerous for the Pandas. We have seen goals, 2 goals in less than 24 seconds, especially with the one thing that I think the Pandas does absolutely better than the Tyrants, and that's get those kickoff goals. But here, as the clock ticks down to the last 15 seconds, 2 goals is too much to ask, and Fuzz and Els get a nice little pinch into the net, and that is game over for the Pandas, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's unfortunately not going to be the game the Pandas wanted. They were so close. There was a lot of back and forth, but now Tyrant is just really just padding the stats right now. It was a really nice little dump out to Els to throw that one in to give them that 6th goal there, but time ticking down now. It's you hate to see it. The Pandas are playing so well. Just that little mistake cost them there, and the Tyrants take it 4-1 against the Pandas.
The thing I want to say here is this 4-1 scoreline does not reflect at all how close this series was. And you hate to see it because at the end of the day, when someone goes back to look at the season or something like that, they're going to see, oh, 4-1, Tyrants clapped the Pandas. They didn't really. It was, I mean, they did play well. I'm not trying to, dog on the Tyrants. They had an awesome series. They were so consistent. They did such a good job with the passing plays and the mechanical plays. But it's not for lack of Pandas' effort. They did such a good job keeping it close through every single game, really, really making the Tyrants work so hard to get this 4-1 victory. Well earned from the Tyrants, but Pandas, do not hang your heads down. That was an awesome showing.
Oh, yeah, you made Tyrants work that, especially that last game. You really forced them to have to do the most that they could to get past you. You were challenging at midfield. You had some really good plays. You kept it tied pretty much the entire time. Even if they scored, you were right on top of them, getting that answer very, very quickly. And just so many kickoff goals just in that series from both sides. But, the Tyrants at the end of the day did manage to pull one out, and they took it 4-1. But I really feel that if Bloop had maybe been a little bit more aggressive there right before that second to last goal from the Tyrants, they might have had the opportunity. It was out center. The defender was there. He missed it. It came off the backboard. If Bloop had just stayed up a little bit, maybe grabbed like a 12 or something instead of going back to midfield and going to that side for boost, he may have had the shot. I don't think he thought about it in the moment. But hey, you know what? Great series. This is exactly what I was expecting from the Premier League.
The Premier League is always so much fun to watch, and in what I think might be a first for MLE, I'm not sure, so don't quote me on it, but I think might be a first, we have more Premier League. We have back-to-back Premier League games here for you. So before we move on to our intermission, I would like to say real quick, if you're working on a project or you're a live streamer, whatever it happens to be, you need music for whatever it is you do, and you just can't get that extra level of quality without music. So if you need music, make sure you give our title sponsor a look. APM Music is the go-to for your music, for whatever it is you need. A lot of the music we use here is from APM Music, and a lot of the things you really like to watch, professional sports or high-end productions like that, all use APM Music. So if you need music for your project, live stream, YouTube, whatever it happens to be, go to APM Music. They are going to be the resource that you need. But here, as we move into intermission, like we said, we have more Premier League action for you after the break, so make sure you stick around. We will be right back.